The following presentation was made possible by the Coalition for Church Unity in New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, and Rhode Island, and by the Coalition for Armenian Unity in Boston.
There's a natural tendency on the part of people not to want to change. They're afraid of change. They think that once we unite, we'll create more problems rather than less problems. Not realizing that we have many problems today that are not being addressed, that if we have a unified church, we can begin to address them and be more effective in what we do in this country. So that we have to have people with courage and with some foresight to see beyond the small things and realize the great benefits that would accrue to the community.
Things are different now. They're not the same as they were. The two Catholicoi have said and done things together that cannot be ignored. They've set the tone, they've set the direction. We can't pretend that that visit never took place. We can't pretend that that direction was never given.
We have reached today a stage of national maturity in which we can no longer consider our nation to be pieces of nation, pieces of a small nation. Make us think the right change. Yes, Ashkara Knestem, Martin Kovkovikukan, Terapagderon and Chanabastel Kovkovikukan. Make us, make Anunov, make Heinelikov, make Gidevetio, make Lesbo, make Gerantia, make Tado, make Abakayo. Either we are one nation, or we are no nation.
History will remember 1988 as the year in which a new consciousness was reached by Armenians throughout the world. It was a year of unprecedented solidarity and of enormous tragedy for a nation which, for so many years, has had to cope with never-ending disappointments and frustrations. It was the year of Karabakh and Sumgayit, of Leninikan, Spitak, and Kirovakan. Yet it was also a year of great hope, as Armenians for the first time witnessed an international response to their plea and an unparalleled outpouring in their moment of greatest need. With 1/3 of their homeland in ruins, Armenians reached deep into their soul to save what little was left of the Armenian spirit. And walking out from the rubble, His Holiness Vaskan I, Catholicos of all Armenians, together with His Holiness Karakin II, Catholicos of the Great House of Cilicia, reached out to their people with a message of brotherhood and unity, a message which would inevitably change the course of Armenian history.
What happened in Armenia in 1988 were evil things, things that I find difficult to reconcile with my concept of a good God. Because of those evil events, the two Catholicoses, I really feel sincerely and honestly, were drawn closer to each other. And I think Vaskan Catholicos, because of his love for his people, having seen the tragedies that took place, I think Karakin Catholicos, who's presently in Lebanon, which is being torn apart, seeing all this suffering around him, recognizing the suffering of our people in Armenia, was drawn closer to Vaskan Catholicos. And I think that the two of them, on a very personal level, moved to reach out to work together on this issue.
The decision to come to America for the purpose of coordinating relief efforts was initiated by His Holiness Vaskan I. At his special invitation, he was accompanied by His Holiness Karakin II, and together would appeal to the Armenian American community with proposals for a major relief effort. But along with their plans for earthquake relief, the two Catholicoi also brought with them a new direction for resolution of the long-standing division within the Armenian church community. Zaven Dedekian, an active member of the Coalition for Church Unity, who also met privately with His Holiness Voskin, explains.
He personally insisted on the recent visit in February of this year, in the wake of the earthquake, to come here and not only raise money and give direction to the earthquake relief efforts, but to spend a great deal of time and effort to promote this cause of unity, which he feels is essential to the welfare of the Armenian community here, in the church community here in the United States. This is all a reflection of his determination to do everything he possibly could to promote this cause of unity.
Մենք միայն այդ բադագավ եկած ենք այստեղ եւ հավանաբար ուրիշ հարցերով սպառվելու ոչ ժամանակը, ոչ ալ դրամատուրգությունը պիտի ունենանք այս պահուն, սակայն այնուամենայնիվ ես կհավատամ, որ մեր երկրի ներկայությունը եւ գործակցությունը գոնե հոգեբանորեն պիտի ստեղծե նոր մթնոլորտը այս երկրի մեջ, որ պիտի դանի եւ հասցնե ցես մինչեւ վերամիավորումը ծեր եկեղեցական կյանքին թեմական մագարտակի վրա։
You cannot have a close working relationship between the diaspora in Armenia with a divided church. It is inconceivable. And so forces are at work right now that are helping bring this together. And we saw the culmination of that when they arrived together here in America, and for approximately 10 days showed the rest of us what it means to have a united community and a united church.
Երկու Հայաստան չկա, երկու եկեղեցի չկա, երկու լեզու չկա, երկու հայտնի Անթոր ազգային, քաղաքական, եկեղեցական, պատմական հասարակության մեջ կգտնվի պետք է անդրադառնա։ Այս է մեր երկիրը, այս է մեր Հայաստանը, որում դիմաց ոչ էջմիածնական, ոչ քարտիածնական, այլ մեկ եկեղեցու զավակ, մեկ միավորով գտնված, մեկ հայրենիքի որդի եւ մեկ միասնական Հայաստանը։
If someone would have told me 6 months ago that we would have the two Catholicoses here in New York, praying together, embracing each other, with the archbishops, the respective archbishops of both, joined together in the church and seemingly working together very closely, I would have said it's impossible. But the truth of the matter is that it happened.
What happened on February 3rd, 1989 at St. Barton Cathedral was just the beginning of a historic 10-day visit in which Armenian Americans would receive their strongest encouragement ever to leave the past behind and to unite their church and their people.
Այդ գիտակցությամբ է, որ մենք պիտի մեկտեղենք մեր ուժերը իբրև կորձագից եղբայրներ, եւ ես կաղոթեմ, որ եղբայրական սիրո եւ կորձակցության այս ոգին, որ բայձար գերբով գարդահայտվի Սուրբ Էջմիածնի մայրաթորի եւ դանընգիլիգիո աթորի հարաբերությանց մագարտակի վրա հետսեդե դարածվի ամենուրեք հայ սփյուռքի տարածքի վրա մանավանդ այս մեծ երկրի երկնքի տակ եւ ծավալի կորձակցությունը թեմական կյանքի մագարտակի վրա որբեսի երջանի գորմը դուք հասնիկ եկեղեցական վարչագազմագերբչական վերամիավորման.
The coming together of His Holiness, my brother Voskin I and myself,
is surely because of the tragedy of Leningrad. But that is not the only motivation. Long before the Leningrad disaster, we had felt already the need of coming together closer. The Leningrad crisis expedited, accelerated that pace of coming closer to each other and seeing the future of the Armenian people in Armenia and the diaspora as one church and as one nation. And then, and only then, we can say, "O death, where is thy victory?" Only then, death will have not any power on us. But if we continue to be small pieces of a nation thrown here and there, scattered here and there, without that cohesion, without that strong sense of unity, then death will come as a suicide, not as a death blow from outside, but as a suicidal death. Don't commit that crime. Our people in Armenia have often been victims of that temptation, and whenever we have been divided, we have lost. Look at your history. Whenever we have been united, we have won. Look at your history.
Մեր ասկային կյանքի մեջ անցյալ դարվա Ղարաբաղյան դակնաբալի իրադարձությունները եւ ապա երկրաշարժի այս ահավոր հարվածը բնական էր, շատ բնական, որ մայրաթորս եւ գիլիգյանաթորը առավել միանային իրենց մտահոգություններով, առավել ներտաշնագեին իրենց մտածումները այն ռամայականով, որ ամեն բան է վեր, մենք մեկ ժողովուրդ ենք, մեկ մայր եկեղեցիով, մեկ մայր հայրենիքով, մեկ ճակատագիրով եւ մեկ ապակայով։
I know very well. I have lived in this country. That certain things are not that easily changed, as you would say. I understand. I fully understand. But in this week, being in New York, I have heard more than 100 times from people, we are making history, but Mashem Orel Gabrik. What was it that made them become conscious that we are making history? Because of that spirit of unity, of that spirit of love, of that spirit of brotherhood that comes from Christ through His gospel and comes down to us from our fathers. Let us be worthy of that holy, sacred legacy today, here and in any other part of the world.
I think the Catholicos are merely reflecting what the people want, and ultimately so will the archbishops. So, but it is not just one where you get an edict and it's sent down and everybody just unites. It's a process that we must go through. We've made a lot of progress.
Michael Hartunian is a leader in the Coalition for Church Unity in New York. He is also the former chairman of the Prelacy Unity Negotiating Committee.
I have heard, for example, during the period that I've been involved on an official level, that some of the pessimists say that the people are not ready for unity. And that is used as an argument to slow things down and to kind of go slow and maybe not really go ahead.
What is standing in the way? Just inertia, I suppose. We have been going on separated for so long, and we continue because this problem of unity is not a hot issue with parishes, which is very important.
One of the problems I've seen in this whole unity approach to unity on both sides has been the lack of desire or ability to assume any risk. The attitude is, we know what we got now, it may not be great, but it's tolerable and we're surviving. Let's not take chances with something totally new. And that, to me, is
First of all,
probably
it's a question of maturity.
overall the biggest problem I see in achieving
division
unity.
is never a good thing. Harmony and unity is always a good thing. Especially we as Christians, we preach a gospel of love. This division contradicts the gospel we preach totally. So it's a problem. Now, we face many problems in this country. There's the question of assimilation, question of identity. How are we going to resolve these problems? We're only going to resolve them if we're mature. Now, the question is, this unity division is a question of maturity. If we are mature, we can resolve it. If we can't resolve it, it only means one thing, that we're immature.
The leadership of the churches in this country have to stop thinking about what we've been doing in the past and think in terms of what we can do to build upon that spirit that was created during the visit of the two Catholicoses.
There is no more profound example that the old wounds of division are being healed than in the sentiments expressed by His Holiness Vascan I at St. Illuminator's Cathedral just prior to his departure to Armenia. The visit marked the first public appearance of His Holiness in a prelacy church since the beginning of his reign in 1956. For many, it was the most powerful act of reconciliation during the 10-day visit.
Առաջին անգամ կհանդիպիմ ցեզի այս աղոթքի տան գամարներու տակ եւ գսկամ եւ գիտեմ որ դուք եւս հարազատ զավակներն եք մեր Հայաստանից առաքելական Սուրբ Եկեղեցվո Վերջին 30 եւ քանի տարիներու ընթացքին շատ իրադարձություններ տեղի ունեցան մեր մայրաթորի եւ գիլիգյանաթորի հարաբերությանց ճանապարհի վրա այդ բոլորը այլևս անցյալին կպատկանին Բայց այնուամենայնիվ մեկ բախ գուզեմ վերհիշել 1956 թվականին երբ ես եկա Անտիլիաս նոր կաթողիկոսական ընտրության առիթով գիտեք ինչպեսի գացություն ստեղծվեցավ այնտեղ փոթորկված էր ալեգոծված էր հայ եկեղեցական եւ հասարակական կյանքը Այն աստիճանի թույլ տվեք խոստովանիմ, որ ես շվարեցա եւ նույնիսկ որոշ չափով հուսահատեցա եւ իրապես չի հասկնար ինչու այսքան ծայրահեղ արտահայտություններ կամ հագամարտություններ հայ կյանքի մեջ եկեղեցական եւ ոչ եկեղեցական մագարտակի վրա Ես Ռոմանիայից էի
I think he was trying to say that events took place in the 1950s in the Middle East, which he was part of as the newly elected Catholicos in Etchmiadzin. And he got drawn into a dispute in Lebanon and within the election process of the See of Cilicia. And he was saying, in effect, that maybe we made some mistakes at that time, and that made matters more difficult in the years that followed. and he comes here today within the Mother's Cathedral of the Prelacy side and has the courage to say, let us begin anew, let us forget what took place. I made mistakes, you made mistakes, but let us not repeat those mistakes now, and let us take advantage of a new beginning.
Ինչքան զորանա գիլիգյանատորը, այնքան էջմիածին ավելի զորավոր պիտի սկա, և ինչքան զորանա էջմիածին, այնքան զորավոր պիտի սկա ինքզինքը գիլիգյանատորը։ Ուրեմն այս խոսքերը ես արդասանեցի այդ պայմաններու մեջ 1956-ի փետրվարի որորը չեմիշեր։ Հիմա այսօր գկարձեմ բոլորս մեկ առանց հավատանք այս ճշմարտության։
Vasco Gatorigos gave to us a symbolic statement, and also in whatever he said, calling upon us, saying that he hoped that his actions would be a first step to bringing about the resolution of our division in this country.
The Catholicoi have frankly admitted that they've had differences in the past. They've also said they've resolved these differences.
Ինչ կվերապերի սակայն մայրաթորի և սուրբ և մեծդան գիլիգյատորի կորձակցության կամ հարաբերությանց մագարտակի վրա այդ իրականացած է լիովին։ Կարեկին վեհապար իր վերադարձին Բեյրութ կամ ավելի ճիշտ Անտիլիաս դաջարի մեջ փոցաշունչ քարոզը խոսած է, ինչպես նույնպիսի փոցաշունչ քարոզ խոսեցավ նաև Էջմիածի դաջարի մեջ, եւ այնտեղ պատկերավոր ցևով հայտարարած է հզոր ցայնով, իր հզոր ցայնովը, որ հետայսու ոսկե գամուրջ մնետվեցավ Էջմիածնեն տեւի Անտիլիաս։
They indicated that the time was ripe, that this organic division between the Catholicates, and the administrative division between the Americas should somehow be healed. They did not indicate any plan or any scheme as to how it's going to be done. I suppose they expect that to be kind of taken up by the community leaders themselves.
The archbishops must get involved in the unity process also. They cannot remain outside of it and leave it just to a few people to sit and discuss unity. Every day they have to do things that help the process along. And I'm afraid in recent years that has not been happening, that both sides and both archbishops have been sort of ignoring the issue and trying to divert their energies into other areas, whereas in fact, in my judgment, their energy should be devoted to bringing about the final solution to the church unity issue, which only they can do in the last analysis.
Events happen because there is a movement from the grassroots. If the communities themselves, their community and our community, Echmiadzin community and Antillas community, or American community and other communities, they are indifferent and apathetic, nothing happens. See, these things are not matters which are just ordered and done. There must be a movement.
The grassroots movement that's already in place, I think, is the coalition. And the coalition can expand. It can expand into cities where it is not now located. People can get together from both the prelacy parishes and the diocesan parishes, get to know one another, and just make their influence felt through their elected church officials.
The diocesan assemblies are formed of the delegates who come from these parishes. They must urge the delegates which they are sending to the assembly that push this question of unity, and let us go ahead with the decision which both sides already took in 1982 in their assemblies.
We reached that point in 1982 where the guidelines were approved, and we hesitated, and we stopped, and we were afraid to cross that line, knowing that once we crossed that line, there was no turning back. We sort of lacked the courage to make that next step.
5 years have gone by since both elected bodies of the prelacy and the diocese have approved them. There may be some reason to change some dates. There may be some minor variations that are appropriate now. But in general, these 1982 guidelines should be the basis to proceed to unity.
It's not the people that are holding up unity, it's the leadership who don't seem to be able to finally come to a conclusion. And all we're doing is demonstrating that the people really want it. That is not the issue. They're waiting for leadership to take the move and make the decisions.
We're afraid of having people in the process. You know, we're more interested in the process and in the system and in the technicalities and in the details, instead of actually seeking the will of what the people want. You know, there's vox populi, vox Dei. I believe that. Voice of the people is the voice of God. And our people want unity. If we really believe that God is with His church, are we going to lose out? No. That's faith. That's courage. If we believe in the gospel, if we believe that God wants us to be one, we have to work wholeheartedly, sacrificially to bring that up. That's what we're working for. What are we working for? We're working to do God's will. We say in the Haidmid, you know, thy will be done. Well, are we going to oppose His will? No, we have to do His will. And His will is that this church be one.
Ճանապարհը բացվի, այն ճանապարհը, որ վերջի վերջո պետք է դանի մեզի բոլորս հասցնելու այն գետին, որ ամբողջ աշխարհի տարածքի վրա գտնվող հայ եկեղեցին սկսած Հայաստանեն, բոլոր Հայաստանի եկեղեցու թռները բաց լան, բոլոր հայ եկեղեցու սպասավորներու եւ բոլոր հայ հավատացյալ ժողովրդի առջև.
Our spiritual father gracing us with his presence on a solemn mission of mercy. This mission is enhanced by the presence of His Holiness Garek King II of the Great House of Cilicia, who has...
We are not remembering history, we are making